Hi, I'm Angela Gill, Executive Director of the Major Hospital Foundation. For the past couple of weeks, we've been sending a weekly email with some practical tips for your mental health. And this week, we're going to have some practical tips for mask wearing. I'm here with Dawn Millitzer. Dawn is a registered nurse and the Director of Education at MHP, and she's going to teach us some things about our masks. You might notice that Dawn has a Disney princess mask because she loves Walt Disney World. I am wearing a cheetah print mask because it matches my cheetah print shoes. So, part of the practical tips for staying mentally healthy during this time is to have a little fun. So, Dawn and I are having a little fun with our masks. Something else that is also helpful during this time is find something that you can control. And you can control your mask and keeping it clean and using it the best way. So that's a good thing to do. And you can also find some peace of mind in knowing that you're doing something useful. And wearing a mask is useful not only for yourself, but especially for others. Just tell us, why is it important to wear a mask right now?
So especially if you are sick, coughing, sneezing, you really want to wear a mask at all times when you're leaving your home, when you're going to the doctor, because it protects the spread of whatever you have. For those of us who are otherwise healthy, wearing the mask right now, the recommendation of the CDC, just helps to protect us. It's just another layer of protection during this time, especially with knowing how easily it is to acquire COVID and how contagious it is. It's just another layer of protection and recommendation. So I would recommend when you're going to the grocery store, running errands, any of those that you're going to be in a public space, to wear your mask.
And the thing that strikes me about it is wearing the mask keeps anything that you have, that you're coughing or breathing out, off of other people. Mm-hmm. And you may have COVID and not know it. You can be asymptomatic for like up to 2 weeks. So during that whole time, you're marching around with no mask on, touching everything after you've got germs on your hands from your own self, spreading it. And that's something we really can't do that right now. So please wear your mask. And Dawn will tell us some important things about how to wear it properly, how to keep it clean.
So as you see, Angela and I, we are socially distanced, and I am going to just take off my mask so that you can see the proper, we call it donning and doffing of protective equipment. So all masks will come with some type of string, stretchy materials. You may have homemade masks. This is a surgical mask that I see wearing out in public, and I'm going to utilize this one for purposes of demonstration. Please note that our environment is clean because I'm setting down a mask, but my mask, since I have been wearing it, the outside would be dirty. When you wear your mask, always consider what's on the outside away from you dirty, and we don't want to touch it and contaminate. So when you take off your mask, notice that I took it off with holding onto my elastic, okay? And as I bring it down, I'm going to fold that dirty part together. It is recommended for storage that we store this in a plastic bag with these two folded together, or in a paper sack. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to lay it here. But because I have touched my mask, what's the most important thing for me to do? I may have touched a dirty part. I'm going to hand sanitize in between the two. You must, this is key to wearing a mask and not touching the outside of that mask. I do not recommend wearing your mask inside your car. As long as you're in your confined space and with family that you live with, you do not need to wear your mask in your car. But before exiting your car, I want you to put on your mask. Putting it back on again, when you're taking it out of the bag, I'm going to put back on my fun mask. You want to pull it out of the bag utilizing the elastic straps, not just grabbing it, okay? And as you pull it out, you're going to spread it open, and you're going to do the same thing that you've done. You're going to kind of put this back on. And if I have to adjust it, remember, what am I doing again? I'm touching that dirty side, and I'm going to want to hand sanitize.
I have this cute fabric mask. I really like it. Somebody donated it, and I saw it in the bag, and I kept it for myself. So it didn't have the little metal thing. And I had a surgical mask like that I had worn, and I had about worn it all. I could wear it. So I just took that little metal thing out of there, cut it out, and I poked it inside of here on this mask. And then every day when I get home from work and I'm going to be in the house and I'm not going to go out anymore, I take it off, and you can put them in the washing machine, but I'm not going to run a whole load of wash just for this little thing. So I just fill up the kitchen sink with some hot soapy water, swirl it around in there, rinse it off, and then I make a clean place on my kitchen counter with the bleach stuff. I lay a paper towel down on it, and then I lay my mask on there, and it dries overnight. And the next morning, I get up and I put it in its little bag to bring it to work and wear it all day.
You can also use pipe cleaners to make the bridge to create that as well, just by cutting a slit in between the two and putting that in there. That way you can pinch the nose as well. So that's just another bread tie, pipe cleaners, any of those will work. The whole key is you have to keep the respiratory system protected, which is your nose and your mouth. So your mask must cover your nose and your mouth. And that's good. And see,
and keep your hands
now that
clean.
I've just been messing with my mask. And that's the other thing that's so key. You mentioned washing. Washing will help because we stretch our masks so much through the day, the homemade mask. Please wash them daily and use a clean mask every day. With the surgical mask, we know as long as they're not visibly soiled or damaged that you can use those for several days. But I don't recommend using them more than 3 or 4 days. One of the last things I will say is one of the biggest mistakes that people make also, besides not pinching this, is wearing their mask with showing their nose because they feel like they need to breathe. You are not protecting yourself or others because you are actually can be exhaling through your nose and passing those germs or inhaling the germs. So you want to make sure that your nose and mouth are covered at all times.
One more thing. I want to reassure you that it is perfectly safe for you to come to the medical center. We're taking extraordinary measures to keep everything clean. All surfaces are wiped down multiple times a day. Everyone who comes in the building is screened for symptoms, and everyone in the building is wearing a mask. If you come and you don't have one, we're going to give you one. And we've arranged things. You won't be sitting around in a waiting room in a big crowd. You'll go right straight back to a room in the physician's offices. We're doing everything we can to keep you safe here. I want to reassure you, it's safe to come to the hospital. It's safe to see your doctor. We need to take care of you. Please come.